What's up, guys? Today we're going to do an awesome purple burst on a 5A quilted piece of maple. Angelus leather dyes black, Angelus leather dyes purple. We're going to do the full body black, and then we're going to sand some of it off and then add some purple to it. I've got this awesome piece of quilted maple from Kimball Hardwoods. He has an awesome selection of woods. He donated this to the cause. So check out his website. It's in the description below. This is an outstanding piece of maple. It's 1/4 inch thick. It's got a nice poplar back. It's rear routed. This is also going to be a giveaway guitar. So to enter, all you have to do is hit subscribe, like the video, enter a comment, and I'll go through and read through the comments and give this one away as well. I'm also on Instagram. If you guys are on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. You can see all the cool things I'm doing there. I do a lot of previews. So let's get to it. We've got a couple clean rags, and we're going to start off with the black. When you're using these Angelus leather dyes, make sure they are shaken up just slightly. I'm going to dump this black on as best as I can. Black is black. It's got a lot of pigment. This stuff is going to soak in really well. And we're going to apply this stuff pretty thick. This top is a body I made myself. I also make guitars in addition to doing these tutorials. I've got my website up, and you can look through some of the stuff I've made in previous videos. All that is available to purchase. So we'll put this black on nice and thick. Do 2 coats. Always do 2 coats. If you don't, it looks like this. There's that second coat. Soaks in really nice. This body was sanded down to 400, and I double checked to make sure all the sanding lines are out, unlike that last video with the bird's eye where I had some scratches and I had to start over, which drove me nuts. Poplar is a totally underappreciated wood. I think its price point turns guys off for some reason. It stains really well, holds paint really well, machines decently. It's a nice hardwood. I love using it, but for some reason there is a stigma attached to it. But I think it is a great hardwood, and I have made a bunch of guitars using it. This is absorbing the stain pretty good. If you are watching this video for the first time, I have got 450 guitar building videos out there. Search through my library and you can see all of them. That's 2 even coats. Go back over this side. See that nice dark stain is absorbing into the poplar really well. And I still get a little bit of that wood grain look and feel, which is the vibe I'm going for. I won't have to sand back or do anything to the back. When you're putting this stuff on the end grain here, usually absorbs it pretty quickly. And you want to make sure you go over this a couple of times to get the stain to absorb in. You want to make sure you get these nooks and crannies good. There's nothing worse than having to go back and do this after you've put sealer on it, which of course I've done. So that's the back. You can see from me moving this around, the stain is sort of piling up a little bit. Gets a little blotchy. So we'll put another coat on and then let it sit. You gotta let these colors dry in the wood for a little bit before you sand them out. If you don't, they will just adhere to your sandpaper and you won't get that look that you're going for. And sometimes these rags start to harden just a little bit because of the dye. You can purchase these dyes in the link. Helps me out just a little bit. So this is looking pretty good. You can see the figure on this already. Whatever color I put on this guitar body, it's gonna look awesome. When you get a nice piece of wood, certain colors just pop. When you get a terrible piece of wood with not a lot of figure, you kind of want to hit with red, orange, yellows to get inside the grain and get things to pop. This is an outstanding piece of wood, and I know whatever color I put on here, it's going to look awesome. You can see it already. So we let this dry, come back, sand it off slightly here. So we're going to use 400 grit sandpaper here. These are these mesh sanding pads, and they work awesome with this. With this Angelus leather dye on regular sandpaper, sometimes it builds up really bad and you don't get all that fuzz out using the vacuum. So all that fuzz now goes out with this open mesh sandpaper. It's a little bit more expensive, but for this application, this process, it works really well. So we're gonna come back with some purple. Purple is one of Angelus's colors that acts a little bit funny at times. Purple has a lot of pigment in it as well, and if you over apply the pigment, it'll turn green or brown. And all you gotta do then is just take some steel wool or some sandpaper and just sand it off slightly, and it's fine. So I'll show you that trick here. Shake up the bottle, clean gloves, clean rag, and we're gonna apply this off to the side. This first application is probably the most important. And we're just going to put it on. And like I said, you can see how outstanding this piece of wood is. Any color would have looked good here. You can see it gets a little bit blotchy. And I'll show you the tricks how to clean all of this up. I'm not going to apply 2 coats, but I'm going to go over it with this rag and try and get it soaked in as many spots as I can. I don't want to over apply purple. I've learned that trick painfully a bunch of times, and I'm sharing that with you guys here. It's the only color I don't apply 2 coats. So we'll rub this on as hard as we can. Make sure we get as much of the stain on here. And I'll tell you, it looks outstanding. The cameras sometimes don't pick up colors perfectly. Won't show you the reds right. Won't show you the high contrast colors. If you see pink, sometimes they don't look right. But this looks outstanding. It's way dark. We'll be lightening it up with that trick. But it hasn't gone green. If I applied another coat, I know exactly what would happen. Like I said earlier, the link to purchase the dies is in the description. This looks outstanding. Oh, this looks so good. I think I'm just going to apply a little bit of purple on the back. It's going to pick up some of the black, so I won't be using this rag again. This will give the whole guitar a little bit of a darker vibe, especially in the back. It's going to pick up the black and blend it back in. Rub this on the sides a little bit. So for this giveaway, what I'll do is I will seal it in sanding sealer, and you guys can do whatever you want with it. If I were you, I'd apply some wipe-on poly, call it a day, and then if you need to fix it up as you're gigging or whatever, you just sand it off and start over. I do not like pretty boy guitars. I like functional guitars. I'll put some stain on this pickup cavity. Sometimes those cavities aren't perfect, so you don't want to see the poplar. I've also read a lot of your comments, try to respond to as many as I can, and you don't like fast forwarding. So other than the builds, when I do these, I won't fast forward. I'll show you the whole process and my pretty face. Alright, so we got black and purple unsanded back on the back. We've got a awesome purple top. Alright, so we're going to come back with some 0000 grade steel wool, fine steel wool. And the trick to keep a dark rich color is to just slowly take some of the stuff out. And you can see the magic happening already. Pulling a little bit of that dye off, and you're exposing the wood. Not that much dye. So reading in some forums saying never use steel wool. I was like, why? Well, it's going to get all over the body and you're going to seal it's going to get in there. Well, I vacuum it up. I blow it out. Never had a problem with that at all. I've stained, I don't know, a couple hundred guitar bodies. And I love using steel wool. So as you can see as I'm doing this, pulling up that first layer of color, I'm exposing the grain. Pushing pretty hard to do this. Thought about feathering some black on here, but honestly this looks too good. Yeah, maybe I will, we'll see. Make sure you turn the steel wool just slightly. The trick with this is a constant, even pressure across the whole body. And that's a little bit tricky to get at. So what I like to do is turn the body, look at it from a couple different angles, and you can see how does it look. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 lights, 5 lights. I can usually pick up any different coloring when I do it that way. So I normally would be vacuuming as I do this, but then you can't hear what I'm saying. Some guys would prefer this lighter. I could probably do that. One place I'm not going to try and get the color even is that little strip. I'll never get it, and most likely what I'll do is I'll just gouge out the sides, and it won't look that good. Slow process to get this right. But I'm getting it. Awesome 3D effect. This might be a 2K-er for sure. Just the figure is really nice. Use both hands, you'll get different pressure. Now let's vacuum this up. I use these brushes. Use these brushes, really helps pick up all this stuff. Still a bunch of color in here. I'm gonna have to wipe this down. It's pretty even. Maybe I should just do the black on the side and call it a day. A couple spots I'm noticing, maybe right here. That spot, this spot. Color isn't perfectly even. I thought the black would help sort of tied in better. It didn't. Keep rubbing the sucker out. Coloring's pretty even at this point. I know there was one line, you could see that line running here. Runs pretty good. If you buy the cheaper grade tops and leave them darker, you can get these tops to look the same. Just gotta leave a little bit darker color. This wave is just beautiful. It's like you're looking at a map. It's just kind of want to go swimming in it. At this point, I'm just sort of lightening it up a little bit more. I think everything looks really good. But I just wanted to wipe it up, lighten it up a little more. There's one spot here that's slightly lighter. And that's where that figure line comes over, it lightens up slightly over here and stays darker. I'll just rub this over here to balance it out a little bit more. A clean rag, just wipe this off. So I thought I was going to feather it, but it just looks so good. I don't think I want to. I think I'm just going to hit it with the sanding sealer and call it a day. See how much, when you rub your hand over it, how much color is still left in this. The oil's in my hand. Pick up just a little bit. Let's try and wipe it off more. I think we're going to leave it. It looks good. Vacuum it one more time. So we're gonna go put some sanding sealer on this. We're gonna take this outside to the garage and we're gonna put on 4 coats of sanding sealer. The first 2 coats are very light. Just wanna make sure we lock in that color, and then the next 2 coats are a tad bit thicker, and that'll help give it a little bit more body in terms of sealer. And then this is it. Beautiful coloring. Really came out nice. Ready for whatever finish you want to put on it. Just outstanding. Beautiful figure. If I put 2K on this, it would look like you could swim in it. But this is a giveaway, and you know how to enter. Leave a comment, hit subscribe, and we'll give this out here. I'm on Instagram, Big D Guitars. Follow me and you'll get to see a sneak peek of all this cool stuff. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.